Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me first of all congratulate the organizers of this Software Freedom Day activity, 8-Layer Technologies, Philippine Open Source Network, and the University of Baguio for their initiative in bringing us all together in the spirit of freedom and openness. I regret that I cannot be with you today due to some urgent duties that I have to attend to. Let me assure you, though, of my full support for our shared advocacy for free open source software. I am happy to inform you that earlier this week, we commemorated FOSS Week at the House of Representatives, the third year that we have done so. Among the activities we had were a week-long exhibit featuring various FOSS initiatives in the public and private sectors, the launching of the year-long FOSS on the Go campaign, a roundtable discussion with the theme Should Government Go for FOSS, and a training seminar on open office. So you see, you are not alone. The FOSS is with us. Since 2006, my party Bayan Muna and I have been busy pushing for legislation to encourage the use and development of free open source software in the country. The latest reincarnation of this is House Bill 1011, or the proposed FOSS Act of 2010. We believe that the time is ripe for government to have an official policy on the use and development of free open source software. There is no question that indeed FOSS is a technology platform and a business model whose time has come. The exhibit we had in the House this week showed a plethora of software products ranging from business permit and licensing and tax administration softwares for LGUs, database systems for large enterprises, medical records, and telehealth software, and Linux-based operating systems of all kinds and sizes. The best thing was, they were all for free. They were free because FOSS gives its users four freedoms. The freedom to run the software program for any purpose, the freedom to study and modify the software program, the freedom to copy the software program so you can help your neighbor, and last, the freedom to improve the software and release your improvements to the public so that the whole community benefits. The FOSS is a world where there are no pirates, software pirates, because the wealth of software technology becomes accessible to all. In fact, with the advent of cloud computing, the proprietary software model, one in which you have to pay an expensive license to use a software, is becoming obsolete. Because of the freedom it gives, FOSS substantially reduces the cost of ICT, allows for more flexibility and interoperability across various platforms, encourages the emergence of software developers, and results in programs that are stable and highly resistant to bugs and viruses. It is for these benefits that a law is needed for government to have a clear-cut policy and strategy on the use and development of FOSS. The objectives of House Bill 1011 are the following. 1. Encourage the use and development of FOSS in the private and public sectors. And 2. Mandate the use of FOSS in all government agencies, except in extraordinary situations where this is not practicable. The bill has the following main features. 1. It declares as state policy the use of open source software products developed by Filipinos, that is in Section 2. Second, it defines open standards, open formats, and open software, and mandates the government to recognize licenses in this area. This is found in sections 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3. It mandates the use of open standards and FOSS in the public sector, except in extraordinary circumstances as determined by public hearings. 4. It gives preference for Filipino-owned ICT companies in the government's procurement of FOSS goods and services in Section 8. Number 5, in the private sector, the bill promotes the use of FOSS and open standards through non-fiscal incentives, Section 10. Number 6, it promotes FOSS and open standards in educational institutions and encourages schools to offer certification programs for FOSS. This is found in Section 9. Number 7, it bans patenting of software. This is Section 11. Number 8, it mandates the Commission on Information Communications Technology to oversee the law's implementation and creates the Office on FOSS Migration as an attached agency to ensure this. And number 9, it sets targets for FOSS migration for the first 5 years of the Act's implementation. Of all the bill's features, it's probably Section 5, mandating the use of FOSS in all government agencies, that is most controversial. Titled Government Rules and Policies on the Use and Adoption of Open Standards and FOSS in Government, it mandates the government shall use only ICT goods and services that comply with open standards, and that all government communications and data intended for public consumption shall be encoded in open standard format, and that government shall apply only FOSS or FOSS solutions in all ICT projects and activities. When we were drafting the bill, we reached a crossroad on this issue. There were two roads to take. One, the well-paved road of free choice, which would allow government agencies free rein in choosing between FOSS and proprietary software. Or two, the less traveled path of making a clear, unequivocal voice for free open source software. Taking the well-paved road of free choice would render our bill as nothing more than a promotional brochure for FOSS. After all, no amount of promotion or inter-office memoranda encouraging the use of FOSS can face up to the sheer inertia of years of using proprietary software, much more the massive, multi-billion-dollar Hollywood-style glitz and glamour of proprietary software marketing. On the other hand, the less traveled path of mandating FOSS would give the law the necessary tools and teeth to make that radical shift towards cyber freedom and democracy. The only problem, of course, would be in mustering the necessary political will to follow the law. The bill is premised on the assumption that the use of FOSS is more beneficial to the government and the country. And so, in the exercise of government's right to freely choose what is best for it and the country, we choose FOSS. I'd like to make it clear, however, that my bill does not prohibit the use of proprietary software in government. No, not at all. Section 5.5 of the bill allows the use of proprietary software in extraordinary circumstances where no FOSS equivalent meets the needs of a particular government agency or program. For example, for word processing, spreadsheet, or internet browsing applications, which are the most common software in government used by probably more than 98% of all users, I cannot see why we cannot immediately migrate to OpenOffice. But for specialized applications, the case can be argued that no equivalent FOSS can be had, or that there are already existing proprietary systems in place in a certain agency that will be difficult to change. But of course, this has to be justified through an open, public hearing called for that purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end with an appeal. This bill faces a stiff battle in the legislature. The detractors of FOSS will use everything at their disposal to demolish or water down the FOSS bill. I hope that your group, students especially, can help us in advocating for the passage of the FOSS Act of 2010. I know that we are not alone and that with your help, we can see this through. Once again, I would like to congratulate you for the successful celebration of Software Freedom Day, and together we will fight for freedom and liberation through the free open source software. Thank you very much. Good day to you.